Hey, what's up, guys? Pittsburgh Weiss Schwarz back again with another set review. We're doing Red from Adventure Time today. Woohoo!
Mm-hmm.
It's me, your boy Andy the dog, and I'm joined by Brian the human and Princess Carmen and Tyler. I don't know any of the other characters from the show, so just Tyler, I guess.
Ice Tyler.
Ice Tyler.
The Ice Tyler.
Nice.
All right, let's just jump right into it.
Let's do it.
Yep. Go ahead.
For science! Princess Bubblegum. This ability activates 3 times per turn. When your other character is placed on stage from waiting room, this card gets 2k. Interesting. When science is placed in your climax area, this card is in your center stage and you have another ooh character. This card gets the following 2 abilities. Pay 1 twin drive on attack. So 2 trigger checks. And at the end of this card's attack, you can choose an ooh character in your waiting room and put it in your stock. So you stand by something, so this goes up to 6,500.
Mm-hmm.
If you trigger any more standbys, it can get bigger.
Yep.
And you can twin drive to pay out your standbys that you're triggering. So I guess you just want to high roll into a bunch of standbys with this.
Yeah, just trigger a bunch, get massive, and then get your free stock. Seems
Imagine
like a decent enough combo.
your data live opponent leveling down one of your cards while this is on your field. What if they level down a card with Hand Encore? You swap it. That's a card from Waiting Room. You pitch for the Hand Encore of your 2/2. That's another card from Waiting Room. You just pop to 8/5.
Another card's just at 85, yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I don't like, though, is the timing on the free stock.
Yeah, the timing is hella awkward.
Because the whole point of twin drive is to clean out your stock. But if you're putting something clean on top, then you're twin driving the clean card.
Yeah, that part's pretty awkward.
I guess they just didn't want to let you have that much
Control, yeah.
in like 8 standby. They don't want you to like rip through it. You're playing 8 standby. You're just tearing through your deck. There has to be some consequences.
Yeah.
I suppose. But I mean, free stock's free stock.
Yeah, card's still pretty good.
Based on what we've seen in the set, like free stock, pretty good for like playing all these events. Sending all these cards to memory. I think if you want to try to play the Ice King, you probably have to play this at level 1 because I don't know how else you like have enough stock to play the shit.
Which Ice King? The 3-cost Ice King?
Yeah, the 3-cost Ice King that becomes a 1-cost if you have all the memory, right? You have to send all the cards to memory. You have to get that 1/1 onto the field somehow without playing it because otherwise it's like unplayable to get it into memory. So I think you're playing this for sure if you're trying to play the Ice King memory package. It's too much synergy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking like fanfiction deck. 8 standby
Could be
fanfiction,
good.
something.
Yeah.
You're at level 1, so you're triggering all your standbys. So like you're standing out your level 2s, and then you're just trying to rip into a bunch of standbys. So
Yeah, it helps you
like,
trigger
maybe
more
the
standby.
fanfiction deck.
Rewards you for triggering more standby. Up to 3 times per turn is pretty wild. To gain like 2k.
This is a crazy sort of combo.
This has never existed before, by the way.
Very, very
Because
unique,
if you're hitting a lot of standbys, right? What are you actually playing over? Because right, so you'd say, oh, my last one, this triggers 3 times. It could swing for 65, 85, 10, 5.
But then what are you playing over, yeah?
Yeah, like you're playing over what? You're not playing over your Princess Bubblegum that just.
Yeah, that could get pretty awkward.
You have 1 standby, like
For
inherently
sure.
from the climax. You trigger a standby that on your first or second attack that puts you at 2 triggers.
It puts
And
you at
then, like,
8/5.
Yeah, on your third attack, you could like, unless you just have like a completely empty field, which you wouldn't if you're going for 3 attacks.
Right.
You would have to overplay one of your other Bubblegums.
I mean, which is fine after it attacks and gets you the stock already. But
If you triple combo and you triple twin drive, like you have 1 stock floating before you go into your things, and you like get at least 2/2/2s in front row, and you're just like playing 8, and you just twin drive, and that's like a really big like swing in your favor. And you're like generating stock as well. As long as you don't bury them to the point where you can't pay them out for the next turn, which would be my main concern, I think, with that sort of line.
You just have to have some like really big stock dump, or you just start hard on coring your characters.
Yeah, the what is it? That Jake that's like a pay 2 on play search comes to mind. Ways to pay out climaxes.
Yeah.
But then if you're playing 8 standby, then you're gonna have field problems. So like where you don't want to overplay things on your field. So maybe the events all costing 1 kind of helps you there. Helps you pay down. Like this combo has like never existed before.
It's very tough to evaluate.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, we've never seen this like in action.
It seems it seems like it is gonna be good, but
it's like an Obero that holds board instead of popping back to hand, but you have to trigger more standbys instead of triggering more bars or doors.
Yeah, you don't have to play standby. You can twin drive into other plussing triggers. You just get more benefit off of standbys with this card.
I'm going to give this a B to start it off.
I think we're all kind of on the same page. This is like... And as Andy is memeing, there's a lot of potential.
I'm not memeing.
This card is unexplored.
I wasn't trying to meme. I think this is like...
Super
if I had to just
crazy.
grade it right now, I'd say like B plus is like a conservative grade to give it.
Yeah, it's like something like that.
Plussing you, but you could generate a shitload of stock and set up some really disgusting boards with this if you hit right. I think it definitely needs tested, but there's a lot of potential here, I think.
Yeah, this is
it's either going to be real shit or really, really good.
Agreed.
Yeah, I don't know how this is going to play out. This is going to be pretty wild. I'm going to leave it at B, but it could be insane. The fact that the set does have 8 standby makes this even more ridiculous.
Dude, they've probably been wanting to print this card for a while at Bushy Road. And they've probably been like, let's just make a science experiment with Princess Bubblegum. It's for science. We'll just...
It is
pour a bunch of shit in a bucket, see what happens.
All right.
Very flavorful.
Moving on, Brian.
All right. Yep, we've got Princess Bubblegum sending off on a quest. It is a level 3 cost 2. Frontal assist. All characters in front of this get 2,000 power, and when they reverse their battle opponent, you may send that character to your opponent's memory. And when this card is placed on the stage from your hand, draw 1, ditch 1, bounce one of your opponent's characters.
Card's great.
Yep, it's that's a standby target.
That's a standby target that has a relevant on-play effect.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is like, it's not as good as Asuna, but it's pretty goddamn close. Like, it's a different kind of toolboxing, right?
Yeah, Asuna doesn't bounce your opponent's characters.
Asuna, you're playing more for the finisher combo, though, right?
Well, Asuna can also search. Asuna can toolbox you, and like the more Gara-style builds. But this is like a toolboxy effect in and of itself on a card that you'd mostly normally stand by. But when you play it from hand, it doesn't feel like shit.
I feel like this works more for like what it is. Like the Asuna, you want to run a bunch of copies of because it's part of the combo. So like the search effect's nice on it, maybe. But for something like this, where it's more of like having a more techie second effect, as opposed to like a generic search, it plays in its favor because you can just feel really good about teching this as like a one-of, even in non-standby decks.
Because it's still good. Memory kick is still good, especially when people are playing shit like Shizu, where like you just have to remove it from the game to stop them from playing it. So
yeah, I think like the memory kick and the draw ditch bounce and the 2K assist, like they're all like techie cards, and like you like combine them all into one. It's like a real versatile card that most Adventure Time decks would probably want to play one or two of.
If you're in standby, this card's a gimme. You just throw at least 2 in your deck.
This is an easy A.
Yeah. Agreed.
Easy A card. All right, moving on. We got this Marceline. Marceline, the Vampire Queen. Wow, that rhymes. Memory. As long as you have a Remember You, which is this 1/1 event in your memory, this card sits at 11k cross turn. It's an on-play heal. Wow, where have I seen this before? An 11k cross turn heal. When my best friends in the world is placed on the climax area, which is the standby. If this card is in your center stage, choose up to 2 cards in your opponent's waiting room, return them to your opponent's deck. Your opponent shuffles their deck, and this card gets 1500 power and the following ability until end of turn. When the battle opponent of this card becomes reversed, you may pay 2, ditch 2 cards to deal 3 damage to your opponent. So you will be swinging in for 2 soul, 5, with pay 2, ditch 2 on reverse, burn 3 available, and you don't have to pay until after you get the reverse.
So what does Remember You do? What's the
It is
event?
a 1/1 salvage event that goes to memory, and when it's in your memory, I believe at the beginning of your main phase, you can choose to ditch a climax to add the card back to your hand.
From memory, yeah.
From memory.
So it's like a mask.
Mm-hmm.
Like a repeatable mask.
It's a mask.
A little bit,
back.
but it's salvage instead of search.
And you only need 1 in your memory.
Right.
By endgame.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's an Ice King early play that asks you to have 2 of them in your memory. It's one of the gets large, neither player can back up in that lane until the next
Ice
turn.
King is her dad, by the way. That's the lore.
Basically.
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
So I think what's really interesting when you're comparing this, obviously, to the other finisher in the set, the Finn and Jake, is that the baseline is like effectively the same, where one of them is like experience 6, and this one is have this card in memory that you would probably want to play anyway, and then they're both 11k cross turn healers. The fact that this is off a standby, I think almost makes the idea of like playing a grindier game where you play this as an 11k healer a little bit better. The fact that you can stand by this to the field and then go from there, sort of saving stock on the actual finisher cost, but like foregoing the heal. Pretty interesting.
I'm seeing like 2 different decks. Like
Very
paths here. I'm seeing either like play 8 standby and use the Princess Bubblegum combo and go nuts.
Yeah.
Or you play a hyper consistent deck with like Gate Mogaro from the trial deck into this finisher.
You could
like high roll with 8 standby, or you could go like really
idea,
consistent with.
Yeah.
You could play Jake.
Standby.
Choice and standby.
Jake sucks.
No, choice.
Choice and standby?
Choice and standby have natural synergy.
Oh, you're right. They do. They do. Choice is kind of like Gate, but
only works with cards with soul triggers. So standby, you run more soul triggers.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd rather just run Gate standby.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm a big fan of my Mogaros.
Well, and if you're playing 8 standby or Gate standby, you get to play the OTP deck. Canon, Princess Bubblegum / Marceline.
It's true.
Tis true. Also, just comparing this to the Finn and Jake finisher,
they're pretty comparable, except this requires reverse.
I think the condition is easier on this. I think have this card in memory is a lot better than experience 6.
Yeah,
I think they're about the same, honestly.
The event's good enough that you want to run multiple copies of it. It's just like Mask. Like, oh, I'll just throw a bunch of
Yeah,
these in
but
memory.
like, I think that, I don't know, I've played a lot of Sal 10th, like, leading up to this, like, next ban list, and hitting the experience condition is fucking trivial. God forbid you have, like, level swap like that BMO, right?
I suppose. Like, I haven't played with experience decks too much. I've recently played a bit of Alicization, and have been finding myself getting really pissed off at how annoying it is to hit like experience. Like maybe it's just like how I build my decks. Like
It's probably Mulligan.
I like fix my mana curve, but it's kind of like annoying having to send all your higher level shit to your memory.
Do you throw away your level 3 prime experience target in Mulligan?
I mean, I guess you don't in that deck. Like you hold it.
Yeah,
and
like
block it,
like in Sal 10th, I know for a fact, and Tyler can probably attest if you played it on TTS or whatever. Like you open that Kiri Yu-Gi-Oh, you hold that shit, you hold that you clock that shit instantly because that's your level 3
that's the same
blue.
thing that I do in Alicization. I immediately clocked the
Actually,
combo.
I don't know. I feel like I feel like I'd maul the big Kirito.
Well, yeah. Well, that's why you're having. That's why you're frustrated.
Yeah, that's the easiest way to get your.
Yeah, that's why you're frustrated with it. Is because like that's.
It's not.
You have to make the
concessions. Card in my experience, it's getting like the level requirement.
Well, yeah, that's even easier. It's like any level 3.
Right, I mean, with a deck like that,
your
you
turn
have, like,
turn 0 clock, basically.
Yeah, in a deck like that, you have like specific cards that you want to see go to your level at any given time to hit your experience.
Either way, we're getting a little off topic, but like
if you see that in your opener, you just hold it.
I think they're comparable. I don't think any one is harder than the other. I think we can kind of leave it at that. They're about the same.
Mm-hmm. It depends on what kind of game plan you're going for.
I think if you're going to play experience, it's easy to hit experience.
Yeah,
if you're playing experience cards. Also, the other one's experience 4, by the way. Not even experience 3. It's one level 3 and a level 1.
Experience 4 is not too bad.
Yeah, experience 4 is pretty free.
6, so that's like a lot, but
yeah, this is like experience 4, and this is 1 card in memory. Pretty fucking easy. I don't like that this requires a reverse. But the fact that it's on standby means you can modulate your damage more precisely.
I mean, there's also a back row Ice King that'll give power to Marceline too, so it'll be a little easier to get
the reverse.
Yeah.
I do,
because that's the Ice King that goes with the Remember You combo anyway.
Yeah, and it goes with the Brainstorm too, which is the next card we'll look at here.
Yeah.
I think it's hard to say. Shuffle 2 back on Climax play can be incredibly nasty.
Oh yeah, that's really good too.
Yeah, it's like that can be extremely disgusting.
Yeah, and that effect is just free.
I'm with Andy. I think this is like, if the other one was an S, this is an A+. They're like...
See, I'm kind of like in the same boat. I gave the other one an A, so I'm giving this an A+ because I think this one's a little bit better.
I think this one is slightly worse because of the on reverse, but like they're both very dependent on the shell you decide to play. You're really which one you play really is dictated by the rest of your deck. Like you pick the one that is supported by the rest of your game plan. But I like the card.
I really like this. It's very, very, how would I put it? Usually with Weiss sets, it feels like, okay, there's like one good finisher, and you're going to play it.
Mm-hmm.
So, you could play the other one, but you're an idiot if you do.
Yeah.
With this set, it's like, it gives you like a meaningful choice to make.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, where they're very different.
They're like very different, but they're like basically equal power level, and no one would like fault you for playing either one, but
you get to choose. You actually get to make a choice.
Yeah, it's nice for the different build paths.
Mm-hmm.
Even when you're not playing choice, you get to play choice because you get to choose.
All right.
Okay.
We good
I'm
with
gonna
this
stop
one?
now.
Yeah, we can.
All right.
We can
Speaking of things you don't have a choice about, Tyler, go ahead.
All right. Memory. If remember using your memory, this card gets continuous assist. All your characters in front get 500, and search Brainstorm and salvage Brainstorm.
This is what you play. This is really fucking good. Salvage Brainstorm with frontal 500. If you play this card you wanted to play anyway, it has a bonder to it, by the way, that we won't get till blue, but it's a main phase bonder. And the bonder also has, when it like dies, you can search the Brainstormer, which means you can like run lower counts of your Brainstormer. Pretty fucking good.
It seems pretty good, yeah.
Yeah, it's really fucking good.
For Brainstorm.
Yeah.
I'll give it a day.
It's like boring to evaluate because it's so like obviously good.
Well,
yeah.
What if I want to play my Brainstorm at level 1 and show my opponent my hand?
Well, then you play the Fen.
Why wouldn't you just play this? You play it at level 1, you put the 1/1 event in your memory, and then you have the 500 assist.
And then you show your opponent.
You
your hand.
literally... Okay,
card.
Yeah.
you can think about it this way. For every Remember You play, it's a copy of this because like you salvage this and then slam it to the board. Its ability is activated.
Bro, if you want to show your opponent your hand, you don't need that other card. You can just show your opponent your hand.
That's true.
That's
You can
true.
just do that.
You can just BM your opponent. You can just say, hey, you want to take a fucking look? You want to take a look, buddy? Come on over here. Take a look. All right. Does anybody else have anything else to say about this card?
No, we can move
I
on.
kind of glossed over it. It's pretty obviously strong.
Yeah, it's a good brainstorm for sure.
And it has good art.
It's
so.
a lot quicker than yellow. Yellow, there's like a lot of discussion to be had.
Well,
on this
these are
card,
like-
but these are all just like, wow, these are really good.
Yeah, it's like obviously a good card. You know.
Yeah.
Speaking
Alright.
of obviously a good card,
I think it's back to Andy, right?
Terrified Princess Bubblegum. When you play this card, you can discard a card. If you do, choose an unlocking the
And Caridian.
in Caridian.
And
in your
Kyridian.
Waiting
And
room.
Kyridian.
Add it back to your hand. Shut up! Don't correct me. When a climax is placed in your climax area, you can pop this back to your hand. Choose a character, give it a soul. Nice standby synergy.
So
And what is this?
It's camera.
Unlocking the echidna
Camera.
is
unlocking the echidna.
Unlocking the echidna.
I'm all
Unlocking
about
Knuckles.
this. I'm all about this. I love cameras. I love they're even better when you can bond to them. They're like really good when you can bond to them. Actually,
I really like this
I'm
card.
pretty sure if you play 8 standby, you play at least a 2/2 split of this card.
Assuming you're in blue and can support playing this event at level 1, this card is basically an Akatsuki on play.
Just
Yeah,
play 4
that's-
Gunters, dude. Just play 4 Gunter runners, basically.
is basically
think.
an
I mean, you're
play.
probably also going to be playing a couple Ice Kings along with the Marceline.
That's true. You're in
Yeah.
blue already if you're playing Remember You. So
Yeah.
And it naturally synergizes with standby. You can have like you can play this multiple times because it pops back to your hand. You can do it again. I really like.
Yeah,
it
it just-
Yeah,
it's
this
just-
is a really solid card.
It's
It's
an
like
Akatsuki that
anywhere,
moves itself, yeah.
anywhere between, as long as you have enough blue, you can even play like a 2/2 to 2/3 split of this. Like 2 of this possessed and then like 2 or 3 of the camera. And like reliably have access to it every
Yeah,
single
I'm going to give that a
turn.
plus. I really like this card.
Yeah,
You
I
can-
think I'll
you can
actually bump
kinda
it up to
run
an A.
like- You can kind of run low on cameras. You're right. You could
Yeah,
do
you
like
can
a
run like 2/2, 2/3.
higher on the bubblegums because you just keep buying back the same camera.
Mhm.
yeah,
Broken card.
basically
Yeah,
calling
this
card.
is a really good interaction.
Love
Yeah,
calling
it is
card.
like Ryuji, yeah. It's
I'm
Ryuji for
almost with
standby.
Tyler. I'm almost with Tyler. I want in my heart of hearts it's a plus, but in my heart of hearts it's an S. I love cameras, and I guess you get to do them all the time though.
I like that it
like,
comes in
cringe
main phase.
compilation.
Now's your
I've
time, Andy. This you can put an S.
The fact that you get the camera back in main phase to play is what makes it so good. Because
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
I've recently been fucking with the Umi from Summer Pockets. That's like you get it back at the end of your turn, and it's like a monumental fucking difference that you can't use it immediately.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, it makes it so
Yeah.
fucking hard. Giving an on-play bonder is like so fucking important for these cards.
Really
Alright.
solid. Yeah, let's move
Yeah,
on.
very good.
All right, we've got Princess Bubblegum, Beauty and Brains. If you have 2 or less climax in your waiting room, this card early plays at level 2, and it is on play, ditch 1, heal to stock.
So there aren't many early plays in the set. This
And
is
this
the
is the-
best one.
Yeah, this is one of 2 early play healers in the set, and the other one requires build around, I believe.
Yeah, the Ice King requires like a bazillion cards in memory. So this is your only splashable early play healer.
By default, this card is broken.
By default, this card is good. When these are the only lines of text on the card, I feel like these bait a lot of people. They're not amazing on their own. They usually need something else to throw them over the edge, but the fact that you're probably generating so much memory means that the stock heal 2 or less is probably at a premium. So
Here's like a
I'll give
counterpoint
it the B
to that.
plus.
Here's a counterpoint to that. if there's ever a third line of text on these cards, it's because they have less power, and the third line of effect says if X get
Mhm.
Y power.
And
It
this
just
just
sits
sits
at
at
10K.
10K always, yeah.
That's
That's
true.
true.
Just a 10K.
Which I
I'll
think is-
join the B plus club.
I mean, I think that's fine. If you're in red, you're probably
Oh yeah,
Running
yeah, yeah. You like
running at least one
begrudgingly play
standby.
this even if you don't want to.
yeah, no. And if you're
Play.
in red, you're probably playing standby. You're probably playing the 3/2 back row that makes this 12K cross turn that can shoot to memory. I think that's more than good enough. That heals at level 2.
Yeah. Card's fine. Card's good. Just boring.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Very safe. All right.
Yeah.
I think this is me, right?
Yeah.
Ryan read the last one.
Yeah,
All right.
I think this is
Yep.
you.
Princess Bubblegum, Lady Quiet Bottom. When this card or your other ooh character is placed on the stage from your hand, you may look at the top card of your deck. So Orisa Scry, whenever this or any other card comes down, you get to look at it. You don't get to do anything with it. And then it is a spammable Brainstorm salvage. Spammable salvage Brainstorm. And it's part of the Creeps package. This card's really techy, but I don't like it, and I don't see the point.
Yeah,
I think I gave all the creeps D's, I think.
I don't think this is good enough.
I'll give it a C-. I don't think it's that bad. The first effect has limited use. It's one of the only ways in the set to check the top card of your deck. If you're someone who values the effect, and the other effect's kind of techy as well. So like, I don't know. I don't think it's that bad. It's very niche, but I don't think it's that terrible.
I think it's maybe a bit better than you're giving it credit for. Like, not even thinking about the first effect, which I do like, because I'm one of those people you mentioned. But, so both the choice build seems like it can, like, oh wait, no, not the choice build. What am I fucking talking about? Like, you don't have a lot of ways to, like, you have a lot of ways to maybe, like, ramp your stock and, like, maybe get too much stock, and you need, like, panic button, like, payouts, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like with the standby, you can like start making too much stock, and you need to like dig down and pay out your standbys. Like you can repeatedly do the brainstorm on this just to like dig down as much as you need to, and filter your hand. I think it's like a worthy include.
I mean, I can see that.
I don't know. I still think it's pretty techy.
Yeah, I think it's like maybe like a one of, but like I could see it being like a good one of in the standby deck.
This card does let you check your top card for the bad sword event.
Yeah.
Oh, it does. Makes bad sword slightly less bad.
Yeah, because you can guarantee you're going to hit it, which I guess is fine.
Hmm.
I mean, if I were to play this, I'd only run one copy, 2 copies at the very maximum.
Yeah. I'd have to have a really good reason to run this.
Yeah, for sure.
But it's fine. Next card. You, Tyler.
All right, we got Marceline Monstrous. This card gets 1,000 power for each of your other ooh characters, and if you have 2 or more other ooh characters, it gets hand encore.
Standby.
So that's a standby target. It's like
You literally only play this when you're playing standby.
It goes in standby. Yep.
Yeah, I don't even want to put a number on it. Like, it's an obvious standby card. Like,
okay. I think that's all we need to say.
Yeah. Pretty simple.
Dope.
Back to the top.
Next card, Marceline. What was missing? During this card's battle, your opponent cannot play event cards from his or her hand. Ability activates once per turn. During the turn this is placed from hand to stage. On reverse, you can pay 2, ditch 1, sack a character, get this bubblegum, put it on any position your stage. It's like the Anastasia from Idolmaster.
Yeah, Anastasia or Amelia.
Or Amelia, yeah.
Like an off finisher.
I can dig it. Especially if the Princess Bubblegum's good. What'd she do? On attack, she's an
Shimakai.
character. She's a Shimakai.
Yeah.
Um,
Little bit of anti-synergy there because it comes out after this card attacks and it has to get a reverse.
I think that's fine though. Like compared to the other like the usual Anastasia targets, like the Shimakai is a lot more playable.
Yeah, throughout the game. Yeah, for sure.
Like it's actually a card you don't mind seeing.
It's not as good as Puck, but it's pretty fine.
Puck's good. I guess I've never really played like ReZero. I played Idolmaster, and I know the Anastasia target sucks. So
anything that's playable is better than that, right? So
mm-hmm.
I think it's fine. Not doing really anything on play though is really bad. At least the Amelia gains like memory kick and power on play.
Well, your opponent can't play events
that's potentially relevant against
like the same thing as memory kick. It's just like a sometimes useful effect.
Yeah. What does the Anastasia
You're just playing
do?
it as an off finisher. Huh? Anastasia? I don't know. Gets power or something.
It's like a C plus.
Yeah,
for me, very niche.
Yeah,
I think the yellow off finishers are much better and more self-contained. And I'm pretty sure most builds can accommodate enough yellow to play a 1 of or 2 of a yellow level 3.
The Musashi's good. Or
the Musashi's and the Clock Kicker are probably a bit better as far as off finishers go.
Yeah, because this also requires you to run an additional card. It has to
usually
be
the decks that run the Anastasias and are the ones that like don't have another off finisher.
Yeah, it's like
kind of what I find like
they're primary out because they're more defensive.
If they had a Musashi, they'd play it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
but it's fine.
Yeah, it's okay. A far more interesting card, Ryan.
All right, we've got Wildberry Princess. When this card becomes reversed, if this card's battle opponent is level 0 or lower, you may reverse that character level 0 bomb. When this card becomes reversed in battle, you may pay 1, discard a card from your hand, and put this card into your memory. If you do, search your deck for an U trait character, show it to your opponent, put it in your hand, and shuffle your deck.
Easy A. These cards are dumb.
Bomb that goes to memory?
Yeah, this isn't as dumb as Errory from Psychono, if you guys play JP at all, which the Errory is like give any character 2k power on play. But the fact that this is a 0 bomb, meaning it's going to clear a lane and then get its ability when it becomes reversed, it's not completely comparable, but it's almost there in terms of the general power level.
Run 4 of this in your deck.
Yeah, you just run 4 and they delete itself from the deck. Just free memory compression. Helps you sculpt for level 1. Helps you sculpt later in the game. Removes cards from your deck later in the game. It's a stock neutral, like compression neutral tool. Good chumper later. Card's just like incredibly good.
Yeah.
I wish I had a better way to explain this for people who like aren't as up on the JP meta to like understand how strong these cards are.
Imagine your drop searcher is a suicider and it goes to memory when it dies.
Well, imagine your drop searcher paid for itself is the way you can think about it, right? Because it attacked. And then like the stock that it generated, you paid it out and you dropped a card.
It's like they'll print these effects. I think maybe the way to describe it is they'll print these effects normally without going to memory.
Yeah.
Like, we've seen this card printed like a million times before.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
When it's just on death, pay 1, discard
like
search.
the LA one or whatever, yeah.
Yeah, it's like on death, pay 1, search, discard search. Right? They printed that to death, but now it goes to memory for no goddamn reason.
And it makes it a better card. Because it
it's
just removes itself from the game.
The card was already fine and saw play to begin with, now it also goes to memory.
Yep. I'm pretty sure most Adventure Time builds will run, even standby builds will probably run anywhere between like 3 to 4 of this card. No matter what.
Pretty good, yeah.
Alright. Next. I think this is me. We got Lady Rainicorn. This card has Korean on it, which is really dope.
What's it say?
I don't know.
Jake!
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 So it's a 2,500 power free fresh backup. So you pay 3 overall to free fresh. Incredibly strong effect.
Yeah,
for any deck.
Definitely a good card to have. The fact that they have this card at their disposal, even if they don't necessarily play it all the time.
I
think
love
is-
Free Fresh. I
ve-
don't play enough sets with it.
Yeah,
This
very
is-
relevant.
This is made even better by the fact that I don't think Adventure Time has a really great anti-change backup if they have one at all. I don't even know if they have an anti-change backup.
I don't know if they do.
They might
Actually,
not. They have 2 Adachis and no anti-change backup.
I think the Adachis and maybe like the Engagement Ring Princess.
The bomb, the level 2 bomb.
Yeah, but
it's
those
like
are all
the
bombs.
best
There's no
thing.
backup.
Yeah,
So
I
if
don't think
you
there's yeah.
if you want to run a utility counter, it just makes this even better. It's the only option in the deck, or
Mhm.
the only option in the set. So
Especially
gotta
if you're. Go ahead.
You go. Okay.
Uh,
What? Make up your mind.
I was just gonna say, especially since you're in red, you're probably playing standby. Extra 2,500 counter to protect your standby target's not a bad thing to have. Go ahead, Andy.
I'll piggyback off of that. I was kind of going to say that, but adding on to it, like you want to have counters because you're playing standby, obviously. But like I was mentioning earlier with the spammable brainstorm, like you're generating all this with the twin drive bubblegum combo where you're like rolling the dice and putting them maybe a lot of standbys into your stock, and you're putting clean stock on top of it with the climax combo effect, right?
yeah,
So you're generating a lot of stock, a lot of it dirty. It's a 2,500 counter you already want to be playing, and then it digs you deep into your stock to do an effect that's always meaningful every time.
you can do the Psychono too, where it's like, you just hold this as insurance, and if you're at high level compression, you just dump everything to free fresh and reset yourself.
Yeah, like I feel like usually I'd give this type of card like a B plus or like somewhere in the Bs, just like a straight B like you, Brian. But I think like in context of this, like what you want to be doing with 8 standby, where you're like ramping standbys and stock at the same time, but it's dirty. This is just a really good cleaner.
I'm thinking about it
Really
from the
good
8
filter.
choice deck too. It's good in that for the same reason. You can pay out choices as well.
That's true. Yeah.
That's why I gave it the straight A, because it's good in both decks. No matter what you decide to do, even if you decide to split choice and standby,
That's
you
a
have
fair point.
options. Yeah,
Bump it up to B plus.
I think this is probably like your best stock cleaner you can run.
yeah, for sure.
Well, I don't know the rest of the cards, but like that we've seen so far.
I'm glad Lady Rainicorn gets to go in every deck as at least a 1-of. What a good character.
I think you'd run it as like.
One,
Well, I don't know
2
what you
of.
do. I feel like I'd run it as like a 2 or 3 of.
I'd probably run it as a 1 or 2, just because I think this set has enough
2 in choice
selection.
decks, 3 in standby.
I don't know. I prefer the 2K counters in standby, but that's my personal preference. Just because they're costless.
Maybe like 2 and 2 or something. I don't know. I feel like I'd want to like in standby. I'd want to make sure I see this card like often.
Yeah. It depends on how the selectivity pans out. I think you'll have enough selectivity to get this card when you need it. Because I've played with one of this card in Psychono, and it always feels right. I always have access to it, because I have enough selectivity to get it. I think the set has enough selectivity to get to this card at a 1 or 2 of. So, probably fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, we can move on. I think we already talked about this. This is the Shimakai.
It's a Shimakai, yeah.
Just a base Shimakai. Pretty fucking boring. Minus.
Yep.
Nobody has to waste their turn here. So Tyler, you can take this one.
All right. This is Marceline with Hambo. Memory. If this card, if there is a card in your memory, this gets 3K. Sits at 6. When this card's battle opponent becomes reversed, choose one character in your waiting room, return it to hand, and choose one card in your hand, put it in the waiting room.
Pretty good.
Yeah, 6K hand filter on reverse.
If you're not playing the Stalker, you play this in that slot probably for a hand filter. Because if you're only playing the red event, this is like your auxiliary level 1, I think. I don't think anything else comes close.
You think? I mean, do you need an auxiliary level 1?
You might not. It depends.
I don't think I'd run an auxiliary level 1. If you need to get climaxes out of your hand, you can just pop the event back to your hand during main phase, right? And just
True.
salvage that way.
That's true.
I feel like I would just be super greedy and just be like,
This does
my
increase
level
your
ones are 4
selectivity.
Princess Bubblegums.
Yeah.
It does increase your selectivity though. If you're playing like some of the less selective level 1 combos, like the Finn with the stock charge. But then if you're playing the Finn with the stock soul, you're probably also playing the stock charge because it's like all yellow and it's all Fins.
Maybe if you run the Maguro combo.
Yeah,
Maybe.
and it's also in the same color as the Maguro combo.
Yeah, there has to be a really specific situation where you want to play this card. I feel like it definitely not in every deck.
But it is a good effect.
Yeah, for sure.
Flora's a cross turn 6k. Free.
A cross turn 6-day that can filter you is like more than playable.
That's true.
Yeah.
Go to a bad card now. Andy, you get the bad card.
Oh boy, I love bad cards. Also, this is Marceline.
She's filled with chaotic evil.
I haven't seen the show. Whatever. Knight of Spear amulets in your memory. This card gets 4,000 power and the following ability. When this gets reversed in battle, you have to mandatorily clock yourself and rest this. Also has another memory effect. If you have 2 or more cards in your memory, they don't have to be amulets though. This card gets the following ability. When you reverse your opponent, you can choose a card in your waiting room, return it to your hand. If you do, choose a card in your hand, put it in your waiting room. It's like the last card. I would rather. Why would you ever play this over just the last card? It has like the same second effect, and they're at the same power too.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this one sits at 10k. The only reason to play it is
If you have the amulet, it is.
The only reason you play this is if you're trying to force the Knight of Sphere amulet package, which
The amulet's not even good.
no, the amulet's not good. You pay 2 stock to play this card at level 1.
I feel like if there was any reason to play this combo, I would just go back to the last slide and look at Hambo and be like, instead of running a bunch of bad cards, I could just play this good card.
I mean, Marceline and Hambo sits at 6k if you have the Knight of Sphere amulet in your memory. Or any other card in your memory.
Yeah, just run Remember You instead.
Yeah, this card's a little
I'm gonna give this like
Clock
an
Encore is
F+.
nice, but
Yeah, this card sucks. I hate it. Alright, let's move on.
alright.
We've got Teenage Marceline. Level 0, 4k. Drawback, all of your opponent's characters get Encore for 2 stock.
Daddy, why?
Damn.
That's what she's saying.
Yeah.
Fries.
Fries. Yeah, I don't like that drawback. Especially when you could just play a Futaba or 2 or less
Yeah.
stock 4K. No reason to play this.
I think if you need something that's always 4k, this is better than the Billy, which stops you from playing backups and events. But
If you desperately need a red fix at level 0, maybe.
Yeah, I think it's fine. It's workable, depending on what you need.
I mean, whenever we get around to the Billy Synergy card, we can decide on which is better, but I think 4Ks in general are fine because I used to run the 4K no backups, no events Shinon in Sword Art, and that's a very event heavy set.
It's
And backup heavy, and I never really ran into a problem with it.
Yeah, the problem is I feel like this set is so event heavy that the Billy might actually cause you problems.
Because if you just want to run a 4K, just no stock condition. I think the stock condition one is probably the best one.
Yeah,
to be
that's
honest.
what I was gonna say too. Like,
yeah, the TD.
Like this is workable. Like you were saying, Tyler. Like the one you had in your Xenon deck.
Yeah.
But, like you were playing a wifey deck and we're trying to keep it all Xenon.
No, just in general, because I was using that as filler because I didn't have enough time to get serious Kiritos.
Oh, okay.
I
see.
had 3 of them in my meta list.
But I feel like if you had a fourth one, would you play the fourth one?
If I didn't have time to get serious, yeah. But
Yeah,
now I have a playset of that.
Now you do, yeah.
Yeah.
I guess I just think there's better like oversized options in this set.
I do like 4Ks. 4Ks are solid in my opinion.
Yeah, just condition this 4K is reasonable sometimes.
I mean, they just end up living for at least 2 turns in my opinion.
God, the Berkuli from Alicization gives me nightmares.
Yeah, they just stick there and they just get you so much stock. I mean, we don't need to debate on
Yeah.
4Ks, but
If you need a red fix and something that's always 4K, this card's fine.
yeah.
If you need to like split your counts or something to like up your red count, since that's like straight up just all stats, you're trying to up your red, this is an option.
Yeah.
All right, we good? Moving
Yep.
on. Are we back around?
This is you.
Oh, okay.
Carmen.
Slime Princess. What a great card. When this card is placed from stage from hand, you have to mill 2. There's a climax among these cards. Choose one of your characters. That card gets 100 power until the end of turn. When this card becomes reversed in battle, reveal the top card of your deck as long as it is an OO character and Ice King Schemes with this 1-0 counter event. You put this card into your memory for free. This is your free memory generator in Adventure Time. This is important for any deck that is trying to run a memory compression strategy. Notable decks that run this card or cards similar to this that have memory compression strategies are Sedokai, Da Capo, Dalsegno, couple others that have this like free memory condition.
Angel Beats.
Angel Beats. Angel Beats also has this, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So like these free memory cards, if you're like really banking on your memory compression, are pretty important to run at like 4 of. If you run this card, you run 4 of it, or you run 0 of it, and there's really not much. You're really all in on memory if you're going to play the card.
I think the issue is it does nothing important on play.
No, it's just first deck mill, because ideally you play these only on first deck and then delete them from the game.
And then they're
That's
all
the
gone,
thought
yeah.
process, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't hit off generic events either. You have to play this in the Ice King deck. The only event it hits off of is Ice Schemes.
No, you can play it off anything. You just
Yeah, it just
So
has to
would
hit
you
it.
be running this even if you don't want the event?
Yes.
Yeah.
If
I
you're a
think so.
memory deck, you just play it.
I just hit an OO character and go to memory.
Yeah,
It doesn't hit it off other events. That's all
I think
it
it's fine. I'm gonna have to play with that to see.
If you are going for max memory, you play this card almost 100% of the time. But the Force Mill 2 is garbage. I wish this was just a 2/5 that only had the second effect and no first line of text. It would make the card unironically better. Or if it
like,
hit...
I don't know. It's like the benefit for hitting a climax is negligible.
Yeah, the benefit for hitting a climax sucks. You're running it for the second line only, which is why I wish it didn't have the first line at all, and it was just a 2500 with the second line.
Yeah, I mean, I guess
Yeah.
if you hit a climax, you can swing at something for 35, maybe trade with an oversize or something.
This is just
But-
a free card it's a card that deletes itself from the game after you swing with it.
Right, and that's the
That
reason
is
you play
it. That is the only reason you're playing it. You only play this if you're like trying to play the Ice King or if you're going for as much memory as possible. Otherwise, I don't think you play this card.
That sounds like a proper assessment.
Yeah, I've played with recently like a lot of different versions of this card, and it's only when you're really banking on your memory to win you the game, which like Adventure Time might do, right? That might be how it pans out. So
Yeah.
it's good that they have a free memory generator. Just attacks and then dies forever.
Rip Slime Princess. You will
Rip.
be missed.
Tyler.
All right. 1/1 Lady Rainicorn, Afraid for Her Love. When this card becomes reversed, if the level of this, it's another Adachi, but for red.
This Adachi
Objectively
does not
worse
hard
than the other one.
Yeah, doesn't hard remove.
And it's more power, which makes it worse. Like just objectively.
True.
It's just worse.
This is just the strictly
It's
worse
still
anti-tank
fine,
bomb.
though.
How much higher power is it?
The
500.
other one was 45, yeah.
Yeah, 500. Okay,
just
and the other one
objectively
bottom
worse.
decks it instead of just
No, the Jake stock swaps it away.
No, he.
Yeah, he stock swaps, yeah. He's yellow.
Oh, okay.
The Jake
It's
with the
just
pointy
worse. This is weird that they printed 2 Adachis.
Feet. Yeah, that's
and one is very
Just much worse.
questionable.
One's just strictly better. Yeah.
Maybe they had that one straggler at the at Bushy Road English headquarters. You know what I mean? The one guy who was there from Batman, who like made all the shitty cards.
Just made this.
That was like his last chance.
Make a good card or you're fired. Makes this card.
He just copies someone else's homework. He sends the Jake card.
Damn.
Alright.
Alright, next.
All right, Lord Monochromacorn. Is that right?
Yeah.
I did it my first try. Hell yeah! All right, all your other Prince Gumballs get the following ability. When this card gets reversed, if this card's battle opponent is level 1 or lower, you can reverse that character. All of your other or fanfiction characters get 500 power. Oh, he is fanfiction as well.
He is.
Is this like the gender bent Princess Bubblegum?
Yeah, and Lady
Yeah.
Raincorn.
Ah, okay, I see. Princess Gumball is when you play him from hand to stage, you can discard a card. If you do, choose a level 0 or lower character in your waiting room, put it on any position of your stage. That card sucks ass.
Well, he can pull out.
I guess you
yeah,
put this card out.
I don't think
Yeah,
that card's that bad, but we'll get to it.
He can pull out the Monochromacorn, make himself a bomb, and bomb something.
Yeah, I mean that's not that great though.
No, it's not.
It's not like Monochromacorn is like
That's how it's intended to be used, yes.
really worth
Right.
playing anyway.
I don't like how this whole package is. I'm just gonna give them both D's.
I think this is pretty bad.
Like pretty
But-
shit actually.
But
That's like
Global
F.
5, you guys.
Woo! Global
this is
5.
also
You
like
can get
F.
Global 5 from the show your hand to everybody.
Next.
That's. We've got Marshall Lee, the Vampire King. If the character facing this card's a higher level than this card, it can't front attack. When this card's placed on the stage from your hand, look at the top card of your deck and put it back on top or into your waiting room. He's fanfiction trait.
Huh. Yeah, pretty shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's actual garbage, I think.
So it's a 106k.
If it was U-Trade, it wouldn't be that bad.
Yeah. If it was U-Trade, it would be a little bit better, but still not that great.
It'd be perfectly fine.
But this is
6k on play Surveil. It's fine. Probably not as good as the memory one, but
Yeah, it's just stuck in the strictly in the fanfiction deck, unfortunately.
yeah.
I don't like the fan fiction cards.
Wow, just you wait till I build that deck.
Prince Gumball. On play, pitch any card. Summon a level 0 lower character to any position of your stage. So if this card was not locked to fanfiction trait, I would be a much bigger fan of this card.
Oh,
Because when you're playing a memory-centric deck that summons where you play cards to the field where when they either become reversed or like they have an act ability, they don't have a come and play ability, they have an act ability or on reverse ability to go to memory, these cards become a lot better. Like,
right, absolutely.
I've been, some of you guys, if you've seen the like Dalsegno deep dive or whatever, I go into, there's a very similar card to this that also mills 2 on play and like does this exact same effect, and that card saves the entire set because the deck crutches so hard on memory. But because this is fan fiction, this card is fucking garbage. This card is unplayable because it is completely off trait. It would completely sidestep the problem of running the Slime Princess like on your second deck if you needed to send it to memory, because you could just summon it to the field and ditch climaxes from your hand to hand fix and like get cards to the field. It turns like a climax into a chumper, and when your chumper goes to memory and you're sandbagging, that's really important. But like the fact that this is off trait, you just can't play the card. It's really fucking annoying.
Yeah, I mean, once again, strapped solely to the fanfiction deck. I guess best thing it does is it grabs a Brainstorm maybe, but yeah, not too many options due to the fact that
Not
it's
good.
restricted.
I wish Bushy-Red would just stop with like the random trait locking, right? Like, just limits like this would be like an interesting card to maybe brew around with. It sounds like, but it's just unplayable.
Yeah,
Put a
because
sweep
it's off
restriction
trait.
on
You
it.
just can't play it. Yeah.
Speaking of
No
random
more
off-trait,
army decks. No more army decks.
Can't wait for Mob Psycho.
Where
Alright.
everything is off trait.
Yeah, exactly.
Tyler. Yeah.
All your other characters get plus 500 power and pay 2 rest this. Choose one level X or lower character in your waiting room and return it to hand. X is equal to the number of cards you have in your memory.
So 3 or more cards in memory, pay 2 rest. This get anything, any character.
Yes.
It's basically Giraffe with more steps.
It's
Giraffe-
pretty bad.
But
Giraffe doesn't
Global
give
5.
Giraffe does not give Global 5. D plus for Global 5.
I'm just gonna give
I don't
it a
think
D.
it's D plus. I think it's like a C minus.
I
This
could,
is-
I could jive with that. It's like a decent standby. Like a one of is like a standby target to like help dig out your stock.
Not even that. It's like a depends how much stock you can actually generate, which I guess you have. Like this is another like Da Capo Del Segno card. This exists where like people were thinking this would be your plussing engine, but like pay 2 was too much there. But like maybe if you're like super heavy on memory, like pay 2 salvage anything is fine.
Princess Bubblegum combo, dude.
It's possible.
Stock charges you 3 if you tri-field it.
That's true.
Yeah,
Extra
I mean
losses from the stock.
it's a selective stock out. So it's either this or the Jake. The Jake's just on play. This is a card that's repeatable, so
This seems
I guess
better when
depends
standby
on your build. Yeah.
gives power.
All right. Next. Back to Andy.
Princess Bubblegum. She's infected with the you know what. When this card's backup is used, you can pay 2. If you do, choose one of your opponent's characters to level higher. Put in your opponent's waiting room. Your opponent chooses a level 0 or lower character in their waiting room, puts it on the field.
Wow, it does exist.
It's Nerf Gochiusa counter.
How much is the Gochiusa one? Just 1 stock, or
It's pay 1, sack 1, where this is pay 2.
yeah? Notably, it doesn't like a usual anti-change counter where it like basically just cancels the attack out. Your opponent, their card comes in untapped, just swing right away.
Yeah, it's only good if they have multiple early plays.
And you're actually giving your opponent a free stock then too, because they're trigger steps before your backup.
Yeah, they get to attack again and get another stock.
It's only better if like they have 2 early plays and they front with 1 and you can level down the other. And then they still only get 3 stock and they lose their early play.
Yeah.
It seems like a fine tech card in standby though, because again,
This is the only anti-change counter.
if you're playing Princess Bubblegum and you have a bunch of stock, you can afford to pay the 2.
Yeah, I guess it is just like
and again, if the floor of the card is a 1K counter, like in a standby deck that cares about field, that's fine.
I guess.
I'm pretty sure this is the only anti-change counter in this set.
I'm pretty sure. I didn't even think there was one until we came around.
Yeah. I wish this was
That's
just
fine, that's
Gochi
fine.
counter.
Most anti-change counters suck ass, so
I wish they would.
that
Yeah, I really wish they would just print Gochi counter and let it rock in English to like really scare people out of like playing like early play spam strategies. But is what it is. This is still fine if you want to play an anti-change counter. You just have to be smarter in how you use it.
I think people just look and say, 1K counter, that's not enough. But
Yeah.
having any people will just like barely get over something or tie something quite frequently.
So it does double
And-
duty.
And especially like on weaker characters too, right? Like they're attacking a weak lane. They're like, oh, I'm over by 500. They're not going to back up.
Mm-hmm.
So 1,000's enough. Like you split this with your other counters.
I guess so, yeah. Just in case.
All right. Next.
All right. We've got Marceline, Sanguine Form. When Fry Song, the gate, is placed on your climax area, you may pay 1 and send this card to the waiting room. If you do, choose up to 1 Marceline Monstrous, which is the 2/2 standby target we looked at a couple cards back, in your hand and put it on the stage position that this was on. And it's also a level 1 level reverse bomb.
Wait.
So you
Why
can,
why is this have the other card in the corner here?
I messed up.
Oh, okay.
Gone. So this is pay 1,
Summon from hand.
ditch 2, summon a 2/2. No,
you
it's
have to
pay
sack it
1.
also.
It's pay 1, sack this, summon a specific card.
yeah, this specific 2/2.
From your hand.
Thank
from
you,
hand.
Brian.
Why? So it lets you play this. You could play this bad gate combo, or you could play standby. Just stand by the 2/2.
Yes. Completely useless.
Yeah,
It sucks ass.
you don't
It's
even
a
get to
level
bomb.
1 bomb.
Yeah, you don't even get to bomb. It kills itself and summons the 2/2.
Well, I'm saying
before
if you play it without anything, it's a level 1 bomb.
This is the worst card I've
So
read in my
F
life.
plus.
Is the plot in the show that like her dad eats her fries and that makes her turns
Yes.
her into an
She's
angsty
pretty.
goth
She's
teenager
pretty upset that he hated
Yeah, she-
fries. Yeah.
She
and
has
just
like
ruins her life and she becomes a vampire.
No, she was a vampire when that happened.
All right. Well, here's Brandon on a card. Who read
Hot
that
Dog
last card?
Princess?
I did. So
Okay. So this is the Hot Dog Princess. When this card attacks, if the character facing this is level 3 or higher, it gains 6k. It's a 13k killer. Notably one of the only like early play swingovers we've seen so far, which is important. Then it also has Act. You can ditch a Muscle Princess, which is 003k. And then look at top 4, choose a character, add it to your hand. Yeah, so it's mill 4. Repeatable Azusa on your 2/1 if you play the shitty 3k.
If you ditch the 3k, yeah, I'm not a big fan of that.
I think it would be if this hot dog was like a level 1.
Wait.
It came on earlier, maybe.
Wait. As a level 3 killer,
Yeah.
ignoring the last line of text, this card is already fine. We're tacking on if you run a shitty oversize, you get to just ditch them to Azusa. But this is a 2/1, so that kind of sucks.
I'll give it a C because it's a decent,
Yeah, it's like a middle of the line C because like
it's a decent killer on its own. I guess
it's the only killer we've seen. The only
true.
killer.
in the
I
set.
don't think running a vanilla 3K is like a huge drawback, right?
It's
No,
not the
vanilla 3K
I
most.
mean, you got to make it like worth it
It's
somehow.
having it. It's like having it at level 2 where you want to play this tech card, and then once you play this tech card, you get to like destroy Deck December, like on your level 2 deck, which is it's weird timing.
Yeah, extremely weird.
I mean, I feel like I'd be leveling the Muscle Princesses too. That's like,
Yeah.
uh,
Damn, Brandon sucks.
okay, so I'm gonna talk you out of a C.
Okay.
Right? So here's how I'm gonna talk you out of it. Right?
Okay.
Like 2/1 early play killers are great,
Right.
but you know what's better? Adachi doing that at level 1.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Why would I play a 2/1 when I could play a 1/1?
This thing leaves a
Right.
This thing leaves a body on the board.
It leaves a body.
It leaves a shitty hot dog body that gets run over.
Yeah, but it's about not leaving an open lane.
Okay,
If
well,
you don't want to do that.
if I'm teching in an anti-change bomb, I'd rather tech in a 1/1 bottom decker, or even just a 1/1 suicider that we saw in red earlier than this. Because it's more versatile, can answer early play level 2s. I think this is just like straight worse. Like contextually speaking, I think you don't run this over one of your 2 different Adachis.
I mean, that's a fair evaluation.
I really think it depends on the meta you're playing in. If like 13 is enough to beat over the early plays that you're worried about, and the early plays can't save themselves, leaving the body is better because you take less damage on the swing back.
Leaving the body's better for sure, but like.
But I mean, in the meta we're going into, I really think that the Adachi's probably better.
Yeah.
Just in general.
Even in a meta where you're saying, 13k is enough power. The meta is still broad enough that like you're going like over the course of the day you're gonna run into something where it's like.
I wish I could hard remove that, right?
Yeah, like the anti-chain, like hot dog's gonna be better, like marginally better, like some of the time. Whereas the other card's going to be like game-winningly better, like some of the time. Right, like the swing of, I don't know how to put it. Like the swing of it's just like way more in the favor of the 1/1. You have this card.
Yeah.
I can get
the
behind
other
that.
card that is absurdly better some of the time.
I just wanted to highlight that this is the hot dog princess, and that if we don't, so if you open this card, you have to give it to Brandon.
I want Brandon to sign Hot Dog Princess for me.
Yeah, I need some Brandon SPs
A hot dog princess SP,
for the hot dog princess. All right, next card. I think who has this?
Is this
It's Tyler.
Is this me?
Tyler? Yeah.
You just read hot dog.
I read hot dog.
Brandon.
Yeah.
All right. LSP. All of your other level 0 or lower characters get 1,000 power. The climax combo, when captured, is placed in your climax area. Reveal the top card of your deck. If that card is a level 1 or higher, put it to stock. And it's a
Sucks.
stock soul.
F.
If you play 4 of these on your first turn, they all sit at 4k.
Shoutouts to Beastman. Stock ramp.
Yeah, this is F tier.
But yeah, I don't think you ever play this card. It's got a red stock soul that goes with it.
This
But-
is like F. Sorry,
Yeah.
I was leaning into the lumpy space princess. This is like F, right? Come on, guys. It's like F. I was captured. Come on. I got F. All right, next. Muscle, vanilla. No one.
Yeah.
Skip.
Alright, Skelly Princess.
All you, Andy.
Got the Skelly Princess. He's stepping on the Hot Dog Princess.
Yeah.
Unreal. If your stock has 2 or less cards, gets 1,500 power, so sits at 35. Very nice, very bueno. When this card becomes reversed in battle, you can pay 1, send this to your memory. I like it.
Yeah, not too bad.
I like it better than a 4K oversize.
I don't know about that. The fact that it doesn't do anything when it goes to memory is
4K, it goes to memory. It compresses you. It pays out something if you need to. I would rather
it
run
doesn't
a 35.
though.
I would rather pay a 3,500.
It doesn't compress you.
Send itself to memory.
It doesn't compress you though, because you pay 1, and that card goes to grave, and then this card goes to memory.
Yes.
Yeah, so on your next deck, it doesn't.
So yeah,
it pays off in dividends on like your next.
Yeah,
deck.
it's not.
I guess it's the same. It's the same concept.
Yeah,
but whatever.
it's not truly compression neutral, but it's fine. It just doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
It lets you. In those cases, you don't have to pay it out. Then I guess it's tough not to fall into the trap of I'm going to send it to memory, because
your card has to do
everyone
something.
wants to play
go to
memory.
The Ice King works off of the Skeleton Princess and
Right, you
everything
want
else
the-
going to
Yeah.
memory.
But even I guess I'm just like evaluating it on its own, right? Like
Yeah.
imagine like you triggered a climax, you just want to pay it out. Boom. There you go.
I mean, it is just a beater. This one's fine. This one isn't as egregious as the next one.
I think it's like a
I'd
C.
give this card
Yeah,
like
it
a
is.
C. If it did literally anything when it went to memory, I'd be singing this card's praises, but like it does nothing, unfortunately.
How far this profile has fallen. This is a primo rare in Angel Beats in English.
Oh my god. Stop talking about Angel Beats. Check out our Compression Beats deck profile, where me and Brian suffer for 20-something minutes.
Yeah, that was a time. All right. Well, we've got this Turtle Princess next.
Yeah, go ahead.
It is a 1/6K. If you have 2 or more OO characters in your memory, it sits at 75. When this card becomes reversed in battle, you can pay 1 and send it to your memory as well.
Notably, this does not count events
OO characters
in your
yeah.
memory. So it's got to be Wildberry, it's got to be Slime, or it's got to be Skeleton, which we've just seen.
Okay,
or others of those.
So you need one of each princess in the memory for the Ice King effect, right? And I think one of them has to be
Yes.
Turtle Princess.
Yes, this is the worst card
Yeah,
of the bunch.
All the other, I was gonna say all the other princesses are like fine on their own.
This is
card is
garbage.
legitimately bad.
So you have to stand by it for it to like stand a snowball's chance in hell of being okay.
Yeah. First of all, this is like a 7,500 standby target, right?
Yes, ideally.
But it needs to get reversed. Why do you want your 7,500? It's counterintuitive. Your 7,500s are there because they're big and you're holding board.
Right, exactly.
Dying. If it lives to level 2 and you want to like early play your Ice King, I think it's an early play.
Yeah.
Then this needs to get reversed in battle. You can't even like emergency overplay this, send it to your memory. You have to sandbag another turn, put it in your memory.
It's
then
like
Ice
the
King
most
later.
awkward card ever.
This is like the biggest piece of shit card I've read in my life.
Yeah, F plus
sucks
only
ass.
because it's like attached to the Ice King, which is good, but like this is
This
like
almost makes Ice King unplayable, right? Like if you want
yeah, this is so bad. This is so bad.
like I get that like okay, the other 3 are good.
Yeah.
Like let's make this is the turtle. She's slow to the party, right? But she's like
Yeah, I'll join you.
she's
I
like
don't-
way
I
back
don't
in
like that card.
2013. You know what I mean? Like when did Weiss Schwarz come out? Like that's where she's at. She's back at the starting line.
Yeah, this is like hella terrible.
Mhm.
Like I don't even know how to justify this card. You only
Yeah.
justify it by playing these. The Ice King, spoiler alert, it's like a 3/1 healer if you have the memory, and it has like an off finisher ability as well.
Ice King's cool. That card would have been hella dope if all the princesses were like at least
Playable.
solid.
Yeah,
But
this is
like a
Like
legitimate.
the skeleton
like,
is already
card.
pushing it, right? The
yeah.
skeleton's already pushing like what is a playable card that I have to like make a suboptimal play to send it to memory. And the Turtle Princess is like, yo, what if I just like shot a shotgun into my foot? Like
You know what
yo,
the
what if
worst part is,
what if
too?
I sawed off my foot, dude?
You know what the worst part is too? You can't even just tech this card. If you're going for like the Ice King package, you need to have enough of these so that you can see all 4 of them in time. So you
Yeah,
have to
you're-
run like 3 of this.
Like
3 or
three of
4
Yeah,
of
you
this
have to
yeah.
dedicate
Turtle.
slots to it. Yeah.
And this
This
is
is
the
the
hurdle
worst
you have to
card
jump over
ever.
to make the Ice King work. Yeah.
It's so
Oh my
fucking
God.
obnoxious.
This card sucks.
All right, let's move on.
Jesus.
All right. Who is this?
I think it's me, right?
It's you, Carl.
Bob and Ethel
yeah.
Rainicorn. When your other character becomes reversed, choose one of your characters, and that character gets 1,000 power into the end of turn. So it's revenge trigger for 1,000, and then is a ditch bond to the 1/1 reverse Adachi.
Cool.
Yeah, it's pretty whatever.
Not an F, but it's not great.
I'm
Like
not
a
playing
D
it.
minus. I would never
Yeah,
play.
it's not.
I would never play this Adachi over the yellow one.
Right. I guess this is them trying to incentivize you to play it, but then you don't want this card sticking around because it doesn't do anything except the
Why
revenge.
doesn't this card have Korean flavor text? Or do your parents not speak Korean?
No, they have the callers that let them
They
speak
have the
English.
translators.
Oh, okay. So they do speak Korean.
Jake.
Is that her like translated voice?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
she's
God.
an old man.
Oh god. I forgot that. Her like Korean voice is like a like little girl and then like
Yeah.
oh god. That's so funny. All right. Moving on here, Tyler.
All right, we have Remember You 1/1. Choose one ooh character in your waiting room. Return it to hand and put this into memory. At the beginning of your main phase, if this is in your memory, you may ditch a climax. If so, put this back to your hand.
That's awkward timing, but it is just reverse mask. Waiting room mask.
I mean, timing's not that awkward. If you clock into one climax too many, you can get rid of it, get this back, change it into something better.
Yeah, it's beginning of main phase. You can do that too. So it goes back into your memory for the.
Yeah. What if you draw a climax of your clock draw? It makes clocking on second deck not that terrible.
Yeah.
It just lets. It's like a emergency. Oh, whoops! I need to pay out this card before my refresh. All right, I'll just add this card back to my hand. Get rid of it real quick.
Yeah.
It also like adds a card back to your hand that you can use to pay down stock if you're like double screwed. Pretty
And
cool.
even better, the best thing about on top of all that is this is the condition for a bunch of other cards. So
Yeah, you want to play it anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a really solid
yeah.
card on top of other solid cards.
Pretty good.
yeah.
I think
Yeah.
it's a B plus.
I don't know. What would you rate Mask? What would you rate Mask?
Mask compresses your current deck. So I think I have to give this a B plus because I think Mask is like an A plus card because of all the things that go around it, where like it's bondable out of deck, so it's like a card that can like compress you too when you run the package. Whereas this like it removes a card from
Okay.
it
Mask
removes
has
a
other
card
rules
from
that-
your waiting room.
Is there a bond to this?
There is, but it's like it's a waiting room bond. It's not a deck bond.
Yeah.
I think being a deck bond that also removes a card from deck means that it like removes itself, then removes another card, which is like much stronger than this, which is like delayed, right? But it also has the utility ability.
I think inherently this and Mask are like about equal. I feel that well, that's not true.
Mask gives like
I think this is
consistency for
better than
combo.
On its own, I think the 1/1 salvage go to memory have another effect printed on it is better than 1/1 surge go to memory. I think I value the second
On
effect
its own,
higher.
sure. I think the package in Slime is what puts it over the edge.
Yes, yeah, that's what I was trying to get at. Is like it's so broken in Slime, not because Mask, but it's more so the Chloe that bonds to it.
Yeah, the Chloe is ridiculous. But
So
yeah,
we're
this
just,
is really
we're just
good.
comparing apples and oranges now, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like
Good
this
card's good.
card's good. Like this is the go-to memory event for sure. Selective, removes itself from the game, enables other cards, recyclable, easy mode. Next.
Speaking of events that are good, this is Andy, I think.
Yeah, this is back to the top.
Yeah, if you don't have an ooh or night sphere character, you cannot play it. You may choose one of your characters with Marceline and its card name. Kill it. If you do, choose a Marceline filled with chaotic evil in your waiting room. Put it on any position of your stage. Put this card in your memory. Don't play this card.
Card sucks.
I love spicy cards. I love event cards. This is like actual shit garbage.
So it's a level 1 event where you have to pay 2 and sack a card to summon a card that you could just like slam standby with the 8 standbys in your deck.
Yeah.
And this card also sucks, and there's a 2/2 that's better than it.
I mean,
It also
don't
requires
get me
just
wrong. Like,
Marceline to sack.
I don't know. Maybe I'm discrediting it too early. Like getting like a
There are other cards
you
that
can
work
attack
off
with
it.
it like that turn too. It doesn't come and rest. It's like Overlord, right? You get your big boy, you attack with it immediately.
But it doesn't
Right.
stock gen. It like
It doesn't stock gen, but Clock
It
on course
drop
works. Even if you manage to
salvages.
kill it, it can save itself.
if it gets a
like-
reverse, it drops salvages.
and then it drops salvages, and then Clock on course. Even if they
There
manage
are
to
other
kill
cards that work off this. They're just also terrible.
Yeah.
This
But
is
so much
like
anti-change nowadays is
Unfortunately.
like waiting is like like bottom deck, stock, clock, whatever.
or memory once
can't
Both
clock.
Free comes out.
And after
You would
inve-
still have to actually clock yourself.
Yeah,
for
after you invest so much into this, yeah, I don't think it's worth it. It's not great.
Nope.
Not as bad as Turtle Princess though. Turtle Princess is worse.
I don't know. This is pretty bad. I think this is worse than.
No, this is better than Turtle Princess.
No, Turtle Princess is a 7/5 body that can attack. This card is like a 1/2 do nothing.
This is a 10k with Clock Encore.
No, it's not. This card's
your
1/2 do nothing.
And no, it puts a 10k on your field.
It does.
Listen, I'd do anything other than play Turtle Princess.
Okay, that's fair. All right. Any additional thoughts for red?
I like red a lot.
The Marceline cards are
red seems
good.
cool.
I'm more impressed by red than yellow. Poisonly.
The Memory Princess cards are neat.
Wildberry important.
Yeah.
Wildberry the most important. But yeah, it looks dope.
I think like at the end of the last video, Tyler was like, the yellow impressed me the most. I think the red impressed me the most.
All right. Well, next episode, I'll say the blue impressed me the most.
Will you really?
You're allowed to lie.
Yeah, then I will.
All right. We'll see you guys in blue.